enjoying that peace and quiet. And leave it as it is. Let's take one more breath, just taking our neck circles. And then if you can still keep baby in your lap if you want to. If baby's starting to wriggle, you can always move them. From here, we're just going to take our right ear to our right shoulder and take a nice little stretch along the side. So allow right ear to right shoulder, allow that stretch along the left of the neck, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, sitting up nice and tall. Think about that posture, especially the back and shoulders. So at this point in time, can you stack your head over your heart over your pelvis, relaxing through the thighs. Using that breath, come gently back to center. We'll take it to the other side. Left ear to left shoulder. Start to enjoy that stretch through the right side of the neck. Once again, take your attention to your posture. Sitting up tall. Are you hunching? Can you think of that broomstick down the back? Aligning the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. A nice final breath here. And then gently bring the neck back to the center. So we're going to grab the strap just to continue doing a bit more into those shoulders. So if your baby is not lying down on the blanket or mat, change them out. We're just going to take them to the side and lie them down. There we go, twinkle toes. Yay! So grabbing your strap, keeping eye contact with your baby, and it's up to you whether you want to do this standing or whether you want to remain seated. So from here, we're going to take the strap, and you want to, it can be anything you've got, anything at all, just so that you can grip, and you want it about just a bit wider than your shoulders themselves. The main important thing here is to make sure that we keep everything tucked in. So whether it's literally coming up onto your knees to help that, what we don't want to do is as we take it over the head, we don't want to stick out the chest and stick out the stomach. We want to bring it in. So as we take it over the head, we're going to take a nice inhale. Oh, God, that's tight. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring it back over. And from here, we're going to do a little song if you want to. Warnings, there are songs I'm singing throughout. And we're going to do You Are My Sunshine. Yeah, so eye contact with baby as we inhale, taking it over. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You never know, dear, how much I love you. So don't take my sunshine away. Nice. Now if this feels good on your shoulders, you can bring your grip a little bit further in, so challenging yourself. If not, if you prefer a different variation, we're going to bring one hand down in front, one hand up, and we're going to do some circles around the body. So decide which one feels good for you. We're going to do 3 one way and 3 the other. So if you prefer doing the strap over the head, continue with that. If you prefer to get sort of into the shoulders a little bit this way, you'll know what feels good for you, do so. Remember, taking arms over, really enjoying the stretch, starting to take it in the opposite direction, really making sure that you're not sticking out your chest, not sticking out your stomach, keeping that alignment, and really inhaling, exhaling. Woo. Final one. Whee. Ooh, you like that, don't you? And then slowly taking your strap and bringing it to the side. So with those shoulder ones, you can do those, you could do 30 every day and really feel that opening up. So we did probably about 15, I reckon. So if you double that, you'll really feel that opening up of the shoulders. So from here, let's gently come onto all fours. We're going to start to look at that diastasis recti, bringing those stomach muscles together. So coming onto all fours, making sure that your shoulders are stacked over the wrists and that your hips are over your knees. Now the important thing, we're going to do what we call belly pumping. We're going to breathe in, we're going to keep a neutral spine. We're going to breathe into the rib cage and then exhale. We're going to breathe floor. Put a block or a cuddly toy between your knees, squeeze it together, and that will help that idea of stopping yourself from peeing and releasing gas. So from here, all fours, take a nice big inhale. Exhale, draw navel to spine, really suck it up. Yeah. Inhale for 2. Exhale, draw navel into spine, suck it in, squeeze the block, pelvic floor switched on. Inhale, drop the belly. Inhale, exhale, suck navel to spine. Theo's pulling his tongue out at me, it's quite funny. Yeah, I think his teeth might be hurting, but he's sticking his tongue out. As we inhale for 3. Exhale, navel to spine. Really suck it up and in. Squeeze that block. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Final one. Inhale. And exhale. And if this feels really good, this idea of bringing those stomach muscles back together, do about 20 of these a day. Literally, when you're changing baby, just do all fours. Inhale, breathe into that rib cage. Exhale, suck belly into spine. Really think about bringing those stomach muscles back together. So we're going to take this a little bit further. We're going to come into Superman. And I want you to think of, as we take our arm out, we're going to sprinkle dust over our baby. So taking an inhale, staying in all fours. Exhale, reach the foot out, reach the arm out, and almost you could do some little raindrops down or some stars, and then coming back to center. Inhale. Exhale, reaching out, arm and foot, maybe taking some twinkles down of magic or rain, taking it back to center. So you really want to make sure as you inhale, you're really breathing into the rib cage. Exhale, you're sucking that belly in like we did before, but you're switching on the glutes this time as well. Yeah. And then you can magic some dust down over baby. Inhale. Exhale, reaching out, foot and arm, and then fluttering down. Yeah. Bring it back to center. Inhale. Exhale, taking it out. Ooh. Back to center. Inhale. Exhale, arm out, leg out. Really stretch, suck in that belly, twinkle it down, and then final side. Inhale, exhale, reach out, foot and arm, reaching, yeah, and then flutter that rain down, drops over baby. Beautiful. From here, we're going to do some little press-ups, okay? So keeping in our all fours position. Yeah, we are going to, first of all, take a press down so that the elbows come back towards us, so keeping them inside the body, and kissing baby's belly. The second one, we're going to take the elbows out to the side, and kiss baby's belly again. So the first one, if I face towards you, we're bringing the elbows in as if we're doing chaturanga, so they're inside, and then the second one, we're taking the elbows out and kissing baby's belly. Yeah, so here we go. Inhale, exhale. Now if you have a second language, you might want to count in your second language as you do these. So keeping that straight back, sucking navel into spine, and down. Elbows out, and up. Elbows in, and down. Elbows out to the side, and down. In alongside the body, and down. And then out, and down. You can blow kisses or raspberries, yeah, if you like that. And then out. So we're just working the arms a bit more now. Also working into the stomach. Yeah. Keep breathing in here. So feel that in the arms. If there's one that you feel is more challenging than the other, so if the elbows alongside the body is more challenging, stick with those. If it's too easy, go now to the side. Yeah. Let's go for 5 more. So going for 5. Going for 4. Going for 3. final one. Mwah. Well done. From here, we're just going to take a nice child's pose. Now, we're going to take a bit of a different child's pose here to get into the shoulders and the back. So knees wide and feet together. We're going to take a prayer pose, yeah. So you can bring yourself down, bring in the arms out. If you want, you can tickle baby. Or if you prefer, you can take the block in your arms. So let me just show you a nice variation here. Coming forwards, taking your hands in prayer and taking them over the back of the head. If you want, you can take the block in your hand, taking them either side and getting a nice stretch here. Just allow yourself to breathe in and breathe out. So this is just working into the shoulders. If you prefer, you can always take your arms out and give baby a little tickle. Breathing in, breathing out. The focus here is really getting into the hips, but also allowing yourself to just stretch those arms out, releasing a little bit in the neck and shoulders. So if you are able to just take a moment where you take your third eye, your chakra, your forehead to the floor, and just give it a little massage and allow the neck to have a little turn from left to right. Breathing in and breathing out. So that's the warm-up over. We're going to get a little bit more dynamic now. So just take a few more breaths here. Just ground yourself into the practice. Ground yourself into your role as a mama. Allow yourself to enjoy the child's pose, the seat of reflection. And then in your own time, we're gently going to come up into a downward facing dog. So placing hands either side of baby, tucking the toes under, giving them a little kiss, and then gently coming up into downward facing dog. Yeah. Now, in downward facing dog, it can always feel quite stiff in the back of the legs. It can always feel quite stiff in the arms. So bending one knee and then the other, taking your dog for a walk just like you normally would. But really take that focus towards sucking navel into spine. Really think about drawing those muscles together. Breathing in, breathing out. Relax the head down. Allow yourself to push through the first finger and thumb to protect from carpal tunnel. Think about magnetizing, so turning the creases of the elbows in. And then really relax away. So you allow the shoulders to come away from the ears, not hunched up. Relax them down. Take one more breath here. And then gently we're going to inhale, take that right leg up into the air. And then exhale, bring that right foot just to the side. We're going to inhale, rise up. Yeah, to high lunge. Now, you're going to hate me. Becca's going to hate me for this. We're going to do some little squats. So bring the back foot, back heel off the mat, coming into a high lunge. What we're going to do is we're going to gently lower down the back knee, push through that front heel as we come back up again. With a bit of balance, we're going to swap feet. So we're going to bring ourselves to the top of the mat. We're going to step the opposite foot back so that the heel is off the mat. We're gently going to bring down the back knee, push back up again, bring ourselves to the top of the mat. Okay, so this is working on the glutes. It's also working on balance. Pregnancy chucks balance all over the shop. Now, for your little one, lots of little things we can do here. We can do raindrops blowing down. If you need your hands on your hips for that balance, stick with it. If you want, you can always take something like a little piece of material, or you can just take your arms in the air and do some little twinkles, some little raindrops. So from here, inhale, keeping your eye contact with baby. Exhale, take your foot back, heel off the mat. Knee down to the mat, pushing back up. Step into the top of the mat. Inhale, take the foot back. Exhale, take it down. Really think of magnetizing the legs together, switching the glutes on. Once again, step the foot back, nice and controlled. So try not to throw the foot back. This can be really quite interesting if we haven't worked on balance very much since we've been pregnant. Think about those hips. Notice if the hips are going off skew. See if you can keep nice and balanced as you take them back. Yeah. You're such a chatterbox. I wonder where you get that from. Yeah. Let's do 3 more on each side. Gently taking that knee down. You will definitely, hopefully, be feeling it on your glutes right now. Or you'll also be noticing that maybe your balance is a little bit off. So as you swap sides and take that foot back, you might feel that you're just toppling over a little bit, and that's absolutely fine. As we work on this, we'll get stronger, but we'll also bring that balance back because it does go during pregnancy as our center point, our center of gravity starts to shift. Let's do 1 more here. Yeah. Final side. Ooh. Yeah. Fabulous. So from here, we're going to come into goddess pose. You might want to move your baby to the front of the mat, or you can simply stay facing baby. So for goddess pose, we have the feet turned out, the heels in. And gently, we're going to think once again, think about sucking navel to spine. As you exhale, you're going to come down into a squat. Yeah. Yes. And then as you inhale, you're going to push up. So I'm going to want you to find dual stance for your goddess pose. You might want to come down, and you might want to stay all the way down in your squat. You might want to challenge yourself more by coming up onto your tiptoes. We're going to sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and do our little fingers in the air, or maybe take a little piece to play with. So inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. We'll do 1 more round of that, and this time you can decide whether you want to stay down and come up onto your tiptoes and stay there for the whole song, which is challenging. You'll really feel the wobbles on those legs. So if I just show you my feet here, I'm taking it down and I bring my heels up off the floor. So you're really going to feel the wobbles in the legs, the thighs are working, the glutes are working. If not, stick to inhale down, exhale up. Ready? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, feel the burn, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Slowly push yourself up. If you were on your tiptoes for the whole of that, well done. We're going to take 1 more in this goddess pose, but this time we're going to take the hands either side of the head. We're going to inhale, exhale, come over to the side. Inhale, reach the arm out. Then exhale, bring the arm back and come to center. Take it to the other side. Take it to there. Reaching out, bringing the arm back, and then coming back to center. So from here, we're allowing ourselves to have a big stretch through the side of the body with the arms to the side. So take it to the side, reach out, bring the arm back, and coming back. So you're allowing that really nice stretch through the side of the body. Using the breath is super important. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Keeping that eye contact with baby if they're in front of you. From here. 2 more each side. Reach out. Exhale, bring it back. Final one, reaching over. Slowly bring it back. Gently straighten the legs. Bring the toes in, the heels out. We're going to go for a nice forward fold. So bringing the hands to the hips, and if you have got tight shoulders, you might want to interlace the hands behind the back, open up the shoulders. Oh, that feels so good. Exhale, raise the chin, look up, hinge at the hips as we forward fold. And as you take your eye contact with baby, you can blow them some kisses. You can stick your tongue out like Theo is to me. The poor little thing's got teething. So what we're doing is a nice forward fold. If you want, you can take your hands and tickle baby's tummy. You can feed them the bottle if they are at the moment. Theo's on an incline. And for some reason, he prefers to be fed this way. Very weird. So breathe in. Make sure that you are not letting those legs be lazy. You really want to switch on the thighs. You want to ground down through the heels, through the blades of the feet, and hinge from the hips rather than rounding from the back. So if you have a mirror or something you can look in, or look into the laptop, just see if you've got a straight back. Are you rounding? If you're hunching, then bring yourself up a little bit. Maybe take that block and just take your hands on it so that you can straighten out the back. Because it's much better to hinge from the hips that way rather than rounding from the back to get to the floor. Suck in that belly. Really think of that breath as we breathe in and breathe out. Now, if you're finding that you're enjoying this nice forward fold, calming on the mind, cooling on the body, you can stay here. You can always take it a bit deeper by taking the hands behind the ankles. Should be a really big, nice deep stretch for the hamstrings. Or what you can do is alternate what we call windmill arms. So taking one hand to baby's tummy for a tickle, and then the other arm, the right arm can go up in the air, take the gaze up towards the right arm, the right hand. And then as you exhale, you bring your right hand to tickle baby's tummy. Left arm goes up into the air, taking a nice windmill stretch. As we inhale, exhale, tickling baby's tummy. And slowly taking the gaze in the opposite direction. Inhale, exhale, right arm down, left arm up. Breathing here. Inhale, exhale, switching sides. Inhale, exhale, once again switching, grounding those feet, really feeling that beautiful stretch along the backs of the legs, engaging the thighs. Use that breath to focus on. Let's take 2 more on each side. So really reach up, gaze high. Enjoy the gentle twist. Final one. Gently come back to center. From here, taking your hands to the hips, ground down through the feet as you come all the way back up to standing. We're just going to heel toe the feet in together, nice and gently. And then from here, we're just going to take a nice little stretch against the wall. So, from here, standing up against the wall, we're going to take our arms up against the wall, so reach out. And then gently take the chest down towards the wall. Chin goes onto the wall, chest goes onto the wall. And we get a nice stretch throughout the back, working through the shoulders. So use that breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Funny little bunny. Take a final breath here. This can be quite intense on the shoulders. So we'll take one more breath. And then gently you can walk your hands down. Bring yourself up off the wall. So, let's get our little ones involved. Can I have the bottle, please? Okay, he's grabbing the bottle like his life depends on it. So, we're going to come to holding our babies and doing some hip circles. You can leave your baby on the mat if they are happy. Otherwise, let's see what you want to do if I pick you up. You just want to drink your bottle. Okay, from here, I'm going to do it with Winnie the Pooh just for the first one. We'll take the brace hold, taking the arm underneath baby, so across baby, and then the other hand underneath baby. If baby's on the mat, you can just take these hip circles yourselves. From here, we're going to hold baby, and we're going to sing Rockabye Baby. Okay, so taking our hip circles, we sing rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. And mommy will come and save baby and cradle and all. Someone told me it's not nice to say that the baby falls down, so mommy come and saves baby. Let's take the hips in the opposite direction. Rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby, cradle and all. Mommy's going to save you. Now, from here, we're going to move baby into a tiger pose, which is great for tummy time. So from here, you're going to take your arm and you're going to just lift your elbow up so that baby's arm flops through. Then take your hand onto baby's thigh. Releasing the hand from underneath, we're slowly going to roll baby. And so you can therefore have baby in tiger pose and you can stroke the back of baby. Do you want to come up now? Yeah? Let's pick you up. 1, 2, 3. Whee! So, coming from our brace pose, we literally allow baby's arm to flop down. We take our hand to opposite thigh, rolling baby. Good burp, Theo. Oh, what a star. Good burp. And gently just stroking baby's back. This is the great thing about doing live. See, everyone else has these dolls that they practice on. Not here. A real live action baby, burping nice and loud. So from here, just still swinging those hips, just rotating them round. And if you want, you can always bring that arm underneath for a little bit of extra support. Just allowing baby to know that they're important. We're going to take it to the opposite side. So bringing back into our brace. So bringing the opposite arm this time over. Taking the opposite arm under. Good boy. And then once again, we're going to turn them into, you can keep them upright if you want. Theo might puke. So if you want, you can bring them into the aeroplane version, tiger. So lifting up your elbow, baby's arm flops through. Then taking like a seat belt, taking the arm over, taking hold of baby's thigh, and then gently rolling baby forward. So they come onto their front, and you can just stroke their back. Once again, just focusing the whole time on working through your hips. You can always take that other hand around, and just literally rolling your hips. So rock-a-bye baby, or any nursery rhyme that they particularly like. Let's do one more. Let's do round and round the garden like a teddy bear. So, round and round the garden like a teddy bear. 1 step, 2 step, and tickle you under there. Take your hips in the final opposite direction. Round and round the garden like a teddy bear. 1 step, 2 step, and tickle you under there. Shower your baby with lots and lots of kisses, and gently we're going to bring them down onto the floor. We're going to be doing some bridge pose, which is great for your diastasis recti. So that's separation of the muscles. If baby prefers, you can place them back down on the mat. If your baby isn't particularly heavy, then you might want to bring them into your bridge pose with you. Totally up to you. So for bridge pose, we're going to bring legs either side, so hip distance apart. Now, I'm going to show you with Winnie the Pooh, if you want to bring your baby onto your hips, because Theo was so heavy last week, you nearly took me out. So, lying down, soles of the feet on the floor, hip distance apart. You bring your teddy onto the hips, you push down into the heels. Now, really push your spine into the mat. That's the important thing. So ground the hip back into the mat, engage belly to spine, and then lift up so the baby can come up if they're sitting on you, and then exhale, taking it down. Bridge pose is awesome for building up strength in the glutes, and it's also good for diastasis recti. And And I recommend doing about 20 of these a day. Yeah. So I'm just going to come and be lying alongside Theo, taking myself down onto the floor. If you're saying, what is diastasis recti, do I have it? That's the doming that you might see along the front of your belly, just along here. Now, if you want, you can always take the block in between your knees to squeeze, to engage that pelvic floor if you have trouble. And you can be alongside baby, just holding baby's hand if you want to. Inhale and then exhale, push through those heels, raise up. Making sure that you've got that nice straight line from knees, hips to shoulders. Once again, look, make sure you haven't got that doming. Exhale, ground down. Literally take everything down. The last thing to go in is the bum. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, take it down. Now I thought for this one, a good nursery rhyme would be London Bridge is falling down. Yeah. So, London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. And what people don't know are the rest of the lyrics to this song, so I looked them up. Build it up with iron and steel, iron and steel, iron and steel. Build it up with iron and steel, my fair lady. Iron and steel will bend and bow, bend and bow, bend and bow. Iron and steel will bend and bow, my fair lady. Build it up with gold and silver, gold and silver, gold and silver. Build it up with gold and silver, my fair lady. Nice work, everybody. So really squeeze that block if that's what you're using. If you're using your baby as a weight on your hips, nice work. You can always have your baby doing aeroplane mode out in front of you. So doing about 20 of these a day is great. And if you do have diastasis recti, a really important thing to bear in mind is how you get into and out of this position, and particularly with bed as well. So you want to roll onto your side and make your way slowly up, okay? That's how we exit and start this. We're gonna come back down and we're just gonna do some toe taps and then another lot of bridge. So I'm just gonna show you how to come down into this, and you might wanna think about this when you get into bed at night. So gently bring yourself down to the side and roll onto your back. We're going to do some toe taps, and if you have diastasis recti, then you won't want to do two legs in the air. So we come into tabletop. If you've got that doming, then you want to do a single leg. If you're absolutely fine, you can do two. So as I have it, I'm going to just leave one knee on the floor, nice and light. And what we're going to do is think about drawing belly to spine. You want to start to ground your back into the mat and think about drawing your hips towards your rib cage. So think of that movement, drawing your hips up towards your rib cage. Then gently we're going to take the toe down to tap the floor and bring it back up. Using the breath, take it down towards the floor and bring it back up. So if you don't have diastasis recti, you can do both feet in tabletop position and take alternate legs down. And it might not feel like you're doing much, but what we're doing is reactivating the muscles that are just inside the pelvis, those deep transverse abdominals, by literally thinking of inhaling, expanding through the rib cage, exhaling, drawing navel to spine, grounding your back into the mat. And if you're not sure if you've really got it switched on, you can take your fingers over your nose and then take another inhale, and it really sucks that belly in, okay? So that really locks the apnea. So let's do 3 more on this side, gently tapping the toe down. Make sure that you haven't switched on the thigh of the bent leg, so that all the work wants to come on this leg. If you find that you're being heavy with the foot of that bent knee, grounding it into the floor, that's not good. You want it nice and light. And you want to also make sure that these thighs on the back are not engaged. So if you want, you give them a little wiggle. Make sure that they're not tight. Let's swap sides. So take the other foot down. Remember, nice and light. You should be able to switch it on the floor. And it's very easy to start to ground down into it. Bring the opposite knee up. We're going to do our toe taps. So once again, just make sure that that other leg, that thigh, is not getting too heavy. And just gently focus on that breath. And this might seem like the weirdest exercise to do, but it really does work at switching on that deep muscle that's just inside. So if you feel your bony bits of your hips, it's just inside the pelvic floor. It's really deep inside. And you want to get this back activated, otherwise you're going to be overcompensating in the rib cage or the upper torso. So let's do 3 more of these. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in for 2. Really ground down that back into the floor for your final one. Nice work. We're going to come into our final of bridges because bridge is so important. So remember, soles of the feet, flat, in line with the hips. If you want, you can take that block or a soft toy in between the knees because you want to engage your pelvic floor by squeezing the knees together. That really does help in that way. You don't want to squeeze your glutes super tight, but you want to have them switched on for bridge for sure. So from here, take a nice big inhale into the rib cage. Exhale, draw navel to spine, push your back into the mat as you roll up. And then exhale, take it down. Let's do one more version of London Bridge, especially because I looked at the words for it. So, London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Build it up with steel and iron, steel and iron, steel and iron. Build it up with steel and iron, my fair lady. Iron and steel will bend and bow, bend and bow, bend and bow. Iron and steel will bend and bow, my fair lady. Build it up with gold and steel, gold and steel, gold and steel. Bring it up with gold and steel, my fair lady. Now if you're at the top, see if you can hold it for the count of 3. So holding here, squeeze the glutes. For 1, for 2, navel to spine. For 3, gently roll down so the last thing to touch the mat are your glutes. Nice work. Taking the block from in between your knees and just bring them into your chest and give yourself a nice little roll from side to side. So just relaxing, sort of ironing out the back in some ways with this one. I love it because it just feels so juicy. Relax the neck, breathing in and breathing out. Gently release the knees. And then remember how I said about coming in and out of this pose. So roll onto your side and then bring yourself up. Now if your baby is happy to do tummy time, I've just said fed Theo, so clearly that's not happening, then this is a nice thing to do with them. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So you can place your baby in their tummy time position if they like, or you can just lie alongside baby. So you're going to roll onto your front and you want to make sure that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Take the tops of the feet flat onto the floor and open up the chest. You can always take your hands to tickle baby or give some kisses. Now what's important here is the alignment of our shoulders. So if you've got particularly tight shoulders, spider finger your hands, pressing them down. Open up the shoulders, so not hunching. If you find that the elbow, the shoulders are by the ears, and you're hunching like this, that's not good. So press up, open the chest, maybe blow some kisses to baby, maybe pull some faces. And if it feels good here, stay here. If you want a bit more of a stretch, you can walk the hands out a little bit further, and then push up through the hands, getting a bit of a deeper stretch into the back. So this goes a little bit deeper. And if you want it deeper still, you can walk the hands towards your hips for a deeper stretch. However, I quite like Sphinx. So I'm going to bring myself back down here with my elbows directly under my shoulders and focusing on that alignment. pushing down through the tops of the feet. And if you want to work into the neck a little bit, you can gently take the gaze over to the back foot. So just working a bit into the neck. And you can always do a bit of a peekaboo here, so looking away from baby, gently coming back and going peekaboo, peekaboo, and then yeah, peekaboo, and then taking it to the other side, to the other foot. Enjoying that stretch, and then saying peekaboo, peekaboo. Take one more breath here. And then gently, you're going to place your elbows with your hands and push yourself up to a kneeling position. So once again, getting into the shoulders, the neck and the back with this juicy one. We're going to get into Gomukhasana. So you can do it kneeling or seated, keeping eye contact with baby. We take our arms out and then we're going to windmill them so that we take the right arm into the air, bending that right arm, taking opposite hand to elbow to start off with. There you go. Now from here, do you want to hold that 2 seconds? Good boy. Holding the elbow like this, getting it into place, getting that nice stretch along the back. Now if you are able to, you can take the opposite arm around the back, interlacing the hands, keeping that eye contact with baby. Good boy. Now if your hands don't go together, don't worry. Lots of options. You can take that strap and use the strap to help fill that gap. If you prefer, you can just take the hands behind the back and take opposite elbows. Okay, so if your hands don't go together, you can always just take the opposite elbows. But what's always quite nice is just to take the hand to the back here and then the opposite hand to the elbow and just give it a nice little help, a little bit of a nudge. Now with this one, what you want to make sure is like before, that you're not sticking out the chest and you're not sticking out the belly. So draw them in. Also notice if this elbow is starting to come in front of your head. If it is, you want to bring it back to get that nice stretch along the body. Hello, cheeky. Yeah, it's a lovely smile. So breathing in and breathing out. See now if you can take that a little bit stronger, that stretch, getting the grip. Notice if that elbow is starting to come in front of the face. Bring it back. Breathing in for 3. Breathing in for 2. And breathing in for 1. Slowly release. We're going to take it to the opposite side. So give those shoulders a little bit of love. Yeah, chatty box. Take the arms out wide. Then windmill the arms in the opposite direction. So if you can get the hands to come together straight away, fab. If not, take the opposite hand to the top elbow and give it a little bit of a help. Notice once again, one side will be tighter than the other, and this might be reflective of which side you breastfeed on. Breathing in and breathing out. Yeah, now if you have an alternative language or a second language, you might want to count in that language as you do this. Breathing in for 4. Yeah. Breathing in for 3. Breathing in for 2. And breathing in correct for 1. Slowly release once again. Give those shoulders a little bit of love. And then come down and give baby lots of kisses and tickles and make them laugh and giggle because that's what keeps us going. So we're going to come into our final position, our final asana now before we come into Shavasana. We're just going to take a really nice supine twist. So come and lie alongside your baby on the mat. Woo. And once again, remember that that exit and entrance. Slowly bring yourself down onto your side, rolling onto your back. So for your supine twist, you can take your arms out into a T style and then bring both knees together, soles of the feet to the floor, knees tight together. So if it helps, you can put the block. Making sure those knees stay together, we're gently going to take the legs over to the right. So nice and gently, you allow that foot to stack on top as we take the hips over to the side. Just a nice stretch through the body and take the gaze in the opposite direction of the knees, getting a stretch into the neck. Breathing in and breathing out. Yeah. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Just let all that tension go out of your body. And then gently coming back to center. We'll take it to the final side before coming into our Shavasana. So gently dropping the knees down. Yeah. Now remember, with your Shavasana, there's lots of options. I'd like you to explore it before you go into it. You can remain lying on your side, gazing at baby, having a moment together. If baby's fallen asleep, you can come and maybe lie on your back. Or another nice one to do is Supta Baddha Konasana, which is where we do butterfly legs, coming to lie on the back. So staying wherever you are, but coming to lie on your back. Maybe you want to lie baby on your tummy, in which case they can do a bit of tummy time. They can just all lie on your body, fall asleep. And you can take your Shavasana with your legs out long. If you have any back pain, then keep those knees bent. Absolutely fine to do Shavasana with your knees bent, especially if you've got any back pain. For Supta Baddha Konasana, you bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. Soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. And that will just allow you to get into the hips a bit more. So if you're not sure, I'm just doing it now. Soles of the feet together and the feet out wide. Or you can bring yourself to just lie alongside your baby. I quite like this one. When you gaze into your baby's eyes, hello sweetie, and just take a moment to just enjoy staring at your baby. Yeah. Breathing in, breathing out. Listening to the music and allowing yourself to relax. And start to take your focus to the areas of your body like we did at the beginning, a little meditation throughout the body. So as we breathe in, let's just start by focusing at the top and waking our way down. So do you have any tension in the forehead? If you do, just slowly relax. Bringing it down to the shoulders. Just relax them away. If there's any tension in the jaw, give it a little wiggle from side to side. Allow the neck to be heavy, the head to be heavy, just sinking into the mat. If baby is lying on your tummy, just allow them to keep you nice and warm as they nuzzle into you. If you're doing this as seated, then the same thing, starting from the head, working your way down. Gazing at your baby. Deepening the breath. Coming down to the hips. Breathing in, breathing out. Let the shoulders be nice and heavy, relax them down. And then coming to your feet, your thighs and your feet, let the thighs be heavy. And let the feet be heavy. Let your feet flop out to the sides. Breathing in and breathing out. And you can stay in your Shavasana as long as you want to. Maybe you want to stay here and have a little nap with baby. It's your nap time, isn't it, mister? Yeah. So if you need to, you can come back to where we started in that sitting position if that's where you need to be. Just holding baby. Good butt, Theo. Just taking those breaths. Just grounding yourself wherever you are today, whatever's happened. Whether your baby's had a massive poo, whether your baby screamed through the whole of the class, whether your baby slept through the whole of the class, lucky you. Wherever you are, just bring yourself back to the breath. That deep inhale. That deep exhale. Notice the areas of the body where you're tense, where you're holding that tension. And with every exhale, just relax, release, and soften. If it's the neck that's tight, as you sit here, just gently take those nice little movements from side to side. Let's take a few more breaths to end the practice. Let's take a nice big inhale in. We're going to HA sound it out. Breathe in. Breathe in for 2. Final one. I want you to breathe in, fill the belly full of air, and then as you HA sound it out, let everything go. Gently flutter the eyes open if you haven't got them closed already. And if your little one is now going to have a nice nap, I hope you go and have a nice nap too, if you can. It was lovely to see all those wonderful